Welcome, friends. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here today. You're about to uncover the untold stories of the 9 most dangerous and feared women in the Bible. Women whose names struck terror in kings, prophets, and entire nations. These aren't just stories. They are legacies of power, betrayal, courage, and divine mystery. So sit tight, because what we're about to reveal will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about biblical history. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on this powerful journey through Scripture, where truth is stranger than fiction, and every woman has a story. Kingdom Inspirations presents to you the 9 most feared women in the Bible, shocking stories of power, betrayal, and influence. In this video, we'll explore the hidden and haunting stories of the 9 most dangerous and feared women in the Bible, women whose actions changed destinies, challenged kings, and shook kingdoms to their core. Prepare to discover how Eve's choice shaped humanity, how Jezebel ruled through terror, and how Delilah's betrayal brought a warrior to his knees. You'll witness Jael's deadly courage, Athaliah's ruthless ambition, and the chilling manipulation of Herodias and Salome. We'll also uncover the blurred line between victim and villain in the stories of Tamar and Potiphar's wife. These are not just tales, they are raw, powerful truths. Stick with us and be amazed. And don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening, soul-stirring biblical journeys. What happens when women refuse to be silent in a world ruled by men? When influence becomes deadly, and power takes an unexpected form. This story unveils the conflict between divine purpose and human desire, between obedience and rebellion. These women were not just feared, they were forces of disruption, judgment, and destiny. Were they villains, or misunderstood vessels of prophecy and fate? Journey with us as we uncover the chilling truth behind their stories, and the questions they still leave behind. In sacred scrolls, whispers rise, from Eden's tender fall to thrones bathed in blood. A queen commands storms with painted eyes, a lover trades secrets for silver, and a mother seizes kingdoms with cold hands. Dances spin heads and tent pegs strike in silence. Some lie, some lure, some lead, yet all stir the soul. Between betrayal and bravery, prophecy and power, their stories burn like fire in ancient ink, etched in fear, framed by fate, and forever echoing through time. This is not just a story, it's a storm of fire, betrayal, blood, and divine mystery. These women weren't soft-spoken saints. They were fierce, feared, and unforgettable. Some seduced warriors, others killed kings. Some shattered empires with whispers, others rewrote prophecy with their hands. Behind their beauty was danger. Beneath their silence was strength. They were mothers, queens, lovers, liars, and instruments of God's justice, or judgment. Their names echo through history like thunder in a dark sky. Tonight, we uncover the truth they left behind, and it will haunt you. Stay with us. The shadows are about to speak. Now, take a deep breath, because we're about to step into the heart of Scripture's most unsettling truths. These are not fairy tales or distant myths. They are raw, real, and alive with power. With every name we uncover, a new layer of mystery, fear, and purpose is revealed. So lean in close, because the journey begins now. Let's dive deep into the shadows, the whispers, and the unforgettable legacy of the 9 most dangerous and feared women in the Bible. Long before kingdoms rose and prophets thundered from mountaintops, there was a garden, a place of innocence, beauty, and divine perfection. But beneath this serene paradise, a whisper echoed. The serpent's whisper. It was subtle yet powerful, weaving doubt and desire into the heart of the first woman, Eve. In a world where women were often unseen or silenced, Eve's story marks the dawn of choice, the awakening of free will and consequence. Eve was more than just the first mother. She was the first to confront temptation and make a decision that would forever alter humanity's path. When she reached for the forbidden fruit, it was not merely an act of rebellion but a monumental moment of power, the power to choose, to influence, and to change destiny. Her decision unleashed peril, but it also ignited the human spirit's complex dance between obedience and freedom. Was Eve dangerous? Or was she simply the first to awaken to a greater truth, the painful reality that with knowledge comes responsibility, and with choice, both blessing and curse? The serpent's whisper reminds us that power can be hidden in the smallest act, in the quietest moment, and in the hearts of those least expected. In biblical times, women often moved in the shadows, yet Eve's story teaches us that even a single whisper can shift the course of history. As we begin this journey, we see how the earliest woman's legacy is not one of simple fear or fault, but of awakening, influence, and the beginning of an epic struggle for power and purpose. Jezebel's name echoes through history like thunder, bold, fierce, and unforgettable. Born of Phoenician royalty, she arrived in Israel not as a quiet queen but as a force that would shake thrones and rewrite power itself. When Jezebel stepped into the palace, she brought with her a firestorm of ambition, faith, and defiance that clashed violently with Israel's prophets and kings. Her war against the prophets of Yahweh was relentless and brutal. Jezebel did not hesitate to slaughter those who stood in her way, forcing even the mighty prophet Elijah to flee in fear for his life. She wielded power like a sword, sharp, dangerous, and merciless. Blood stained her reign, but it was her unyielding will and intoxicating beauty that made her a figure both feared and misunderstood. Was Jezebel wicked? Or was she simply a woman bold beyond belief, breaking the chains of the submissive roles imposed on her? She refused to be a mere shadow behind the throne. Instead, she ruled with an iron fist, defending her gods and her vision with unflinching courage. Her story challenges us to reconsider the line between villainy and strength, between cruelty and survival in a hostile world. Jezebel's legacy is not just one of blood and fear, it is a testament to the dangerous power of a woman who dared to seize control, no matter the cost. As we delve deeper into her story, we see how beauty, ambition, and ruthlessness intertwine to make her one of the most feared women in the Bible. In the shadowed valleys of ancient Israel, a story unfolds, a tale of love, betrayal, and devastating power. Delilah, the woman whose name has become synonymous with seduction, holds the fate of a giant in her hands. Samson, the mighty warrior blessed with supernatural strength, was invincible, except for one fatal flaw, his love for Delilah. But love, as fierce as it is, can also be a weapon. Delilah mastered the art of betrayal, cloaking her deadly intentions in the guise of affection. Her whispered questions and tender touch were not innocent, they were calculated moves in a dangerous game. With every secret revealed, Samson's power slipped further away, until the day his strength was broken and his enemies triumphed. Was Delilah truly a villain? Or was she a survivor, forced to play by the brutal rules of a harsh and unforgiving world? Perhaps she was neither simply wicked nor purely cruel. Maybe she was a woman navigating a perilous path where loyalty and survival often collided. Her story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about love's power to heal and to destroy. Delilah's legacy is a haunting reminder that even the strongest can fall when their hearts are ensnared. She stands as a timeless symbol of danger wrapped in beauty, a seductress whose betrayal changed the course of history forever. Behind every whisper and every smile lies a story of power, pain, and survival. Athaliah's rise to power was as ruthless as it was shocking, a grandmother who shattered every expectation to seize the throne of Judah with a bloody grip. Born into royal blood, her ambitions knew no bounds. When her son, the rightful king, died, she didn't mourn. Instead, she seized the crown for herself, silencing all who stood in her way, starting with her own family. In a chilling display of power, Athaliah orchestrated the massacre of her own grandchildren, desperate to erase any threats to her reign. Blood stained the halls of the palace, and the cries of innocence were drowned by the roar of her iron will. Her reign was not one of mercy but of fear, a terror so deep that even neighboring kings trembled at her name. Yet beneath this reign of cruelty lies a complex figure, a woman navigating a brutal world where power demanded sacrifice. Was Athaliah a monster, or a mother and monarch shaped by the ruthless realities of her time? Her story forces us to question how far one will go to hold on to power, and what darkness can grow in its pursuit. Athaliah's legacy is a haunting testament to ambition unchained and a kingdom held hostage by fear. She stands as a stark warning: when power is seized without conscience, even the most sacred bonds can be broken, and history remembers the terror left behind. In the flickering torchlight of a royal feast, a deadly dance of revenge began, one that would seal the fate of a prophet and echo through history. Herodias, a woman driven by bitter grudge and relentless pride, plotted with calculated precision. Her hatred for John the Baptist, whose fearless words condemned her marriage, burned fiercely in her heart. Yet, it was her daughter Salome's graceful steps that would deliver the final blow. Salome, young and captivating, wielded her beauty like a weapon. Her dance was more than entertainment. It was a seductive manipulation, a carefully crafted performance that twisted pleasure and peril into one. With every movement, she drew Herod's favor closer, and with it, the power to command a deadly request. When pride meets plotting, even the boldest prophet can fall. John the Baptist, the voice crying out in the wilderness, found his head severed and laid upon a silver platter, a chilling testament to the lethal power of vengeance wrapped in charm and deceit. The alliance of mother and daughter became a dark force, a haunting story of how ambition and spite can intertwine to destroy the innocent. Herodias and Salome's deadly dance reminds us that beneath beauty and celebration, shadows can lurk. Where revenge and pride collide, the cost can be blood. Their story is a stark warning. When manipulation hides behind smiles, no one is truly safe from the price of vengeance. Jael's story is a striking twist of courage, cunning, and unexpected power, a woman who transformed hospitality into a battlefield. In a world ruled by warriors and kings, Jael stood quietly behind the scenes, her strength hidden beneath the guise of a humble hostess. But when the enemy commander Sisera sought refuge in her tent, he never imagined that his fate would be sealed by the very woman offering shelter. With calm resolve, Jael waited for the perfect moment. As Sisera rested, exhausted and unsuspecting, she took a tent peg, a simple tool, and drove it with fierce determination through his temple. In that instant, a warrior fell not to sword or spear, but to a woman's unyielding will. The silence that followed spoke louder than any battle cry. Jael's act was brutal, swift, and decisive. Was she a heroine of Israel, delivering justice and victory to her people? Or was she a cold, brutal executioner who defied traditional expectations of womanhood? Jael's legacy challenges us to rethink courage, strength, and what it means to fight for survival and freedom. Her story reminds us that power does not always roar. Sometimes it strikes quietly but with unstoppable force. In the shadows of history, Jael's tent peg echoes, a symbol of unexpected bravery and the fierce spirit of a woman who changed the course of a nation. Her tale is a haunting testament to how courage and cunning can reshape destiny when least expected. In the tangled threads of biblical history, two women stand as profound examples of how courage and desperation blur the lines between victim and villain. Tamar's story is one of cunning survival, a woman denied justice who dared to rewrite her fate through bold deception. Cast aside, she stepped into the shadows, risking shame and danger to claim what was rightfully hers. Tamar's actions challenge us to see beyond black and white judgments, revealing a fierce determination born from betrayal and loss. Meanwhile, Potiphar's wife embodies another form of power, one wrapped in falsehood and manipulation. Her desperate accusations against Joseph, a man unjustly imprisoned for a crime he did not commit, ignite a tragic chain of events. Her story exposes the perilous consequences when fear and desire twist truth, turning innocence into punishment. Potiphar's wife is feared, yet her motivations may be rooted in a complicated web of longing and control. Together, these women break biblical norms, stepping into roles traditionally denied to them, whether by necessity or ambition. Their stories force us to question, when does survival become danger? When does fierce determination cross into fearsome power? In closing, Tamar and Potiphar's wife teach us that the line between feared and fierce is often shadowed and indistinct. Their legacies compel us to look deeper into the human heart, where strength and vulnerability collide, and where the stories of women in the Bible remain as complex and compelling as ever. Their stories challenge everything we think we know about strength, courage, and survival, reminding us that behind every legend lies a complex human heart. Thank you for staying with us through this incredible journey into the lives of some of the most feared and powerful women in the Bible. We hope this exploration has stirred your thoughts and touched your spirit. So feel free to share your reflections and insights in the comments below. We love hearing from you. I believe this video has moved you, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more captivating revelations that bring history and faith to life. Together, let's continue uncovering the untold stories that inspire and challenge us all. Stay curious, and until next time, take care.